Okay guys, so there's this totally adorable amigurumi pattern out there that I have been obsessed with. It's this one. It's the Owl and Cactus pattern. So I am going to give this a try. I'm going to just show you guys what it looks like going through the process, and we'll see what the finished object looks like and see if it's as adorable as I hope it is going to be. The yarns I'm going to use are Rico, Rumi, Nilly, Nilly, and here's the one that started it all. This green, isn't that the perfect cactus green? It also has a cute little white and a really pretty yellow that are going to be perfect for the flower that's here in this cactus. So I also need to decide, because elf owls in our area here in southern Arizona are kind of this, they're not gray and they're not brown, there's something in between. So I have to decide which of these two I'm going to use. This is Arno from Barocco. So yeah, come along with me. Let's see how this goes. Isn't that cute? Absolutely in love with how that turned out. As you could see following along as I was going through the process, it doesn't take very long to make the components and the pieces that go into this. It almost takes more time to assemble this than it does to make the pieces, with the exception maybe of the cactus itself, because, well, there's a lot more fabric here than there is in anything else in the project. The pattern is incredibly well written. It was very, very easy for me to just keep going and keep going on this because I was having so much fun turning out the pieces and putting them together and watching this come together. There are plenty of amigurumi patterns out there for adorable objects that unfortunately they leave things out. They assume that you have experience with amigurumi, so they leave things out. This pattern, none of that was a problem. So if you're a beginner with amigurumi, this is a really great pattern for a slightly more complex object because it is so easy to follow and it is so well written. So much so, I went and checked out some of the designer's other offerings, and there's some really cute things like a pig and some bok choy that I think I'm going to have to try after I make another 1 or 2 or 3 of these fun little guys. Now, if I was to do anything different on my following ones, I did love the nilly-nilly for the cactus and for the flowers, for the facial features on the little owl guy here. I loved how it turned out for the eyebrows, for the eyes. I love the technique here that uses a combination of both yarn and safety eyes to give those really, really big, bright, in-your-face owl eyes that are so cute. The only things that I would change is that the Arno was a little thicker, and I really should have used a smaller hook to make even tighter, denser fabric, because I did have a few places I had to fill in here because the stuffing was coming out. And I really want the owl to be just a little bit smaller and tighter because he's a bit of a tight fit in his house here, by the way. Look at that cute little tail. Isn't that amazing? Absolutely love that. So I would use a little smaller hook there. That way my owl isn't such a tight squeeze in and out of his little house here. And I probably would use heavier yarn here for the pot, or maybe a larger hook, because I feel like the fabric on this, while it came out nice and tight and dense, it's just a bit small for the cactus that goes on top. So that's definitely something I would have changed. Make sure that when you make the pot here, make sure that your yarn is heavy enough, and maybe go with something that's just a smidge heavier than what the rest of the project is made with. Now, the designer does say that if you want some extra weight and stability for this project when it's sitting on the shelf, you can put maybe a little baggie of beans down in here in the pot, give a little extra weight. I'm planning on going to either the craft store or the hardware store and finding a terracotta pot that I can just pop this down in and give it some extra strength and some extra stability. But in the end, the elf owl and cactus pattern, highly recommended. If you want to make one and you don't know how to do magic circle or magic ring, go check out my tutorial video on that so you have that under your belt before you attempt this. Go check out some of the designer's other patterns if, you know, cactuses and owls aren't quite your speed, or if you want to make something for someone else. And thanks for watching today. Thanks for following along as I walked you through what it's like to do an amigurumi project like this one.